Welcome to our YouTube channel where we share interesting movie facts. Join us as we uncover the secrets and trivia behind your favorite films. From classic Hollywood hits to indie gems, we cover it all. So sit back, relax, and enjoy learning something new about the movies you love.
Number 1. Squid Game creator Dong Hyuk originally came up with the idea for the show in 2008, when he was in a lot of debt and his family was struggling financially. He read comics like Battle Royale to distract himself. When he contemplated participating in such deadly games for a huge prize, he set out to explore what they would look like in a Korean setting. Number 2. The script initially took a year to write, but it was rejected everywhere until being picked up by Netflix 10 years later, in 2019. Number 3. It almost became a movie. Dong Hyuk originally wrote Squid Game to be a film, but felt that it was nearly impossible to cram all of his ideas and the games into 2 hours. So it was changed into a series to allow him and his writing team to come up with new characters and flesh out the story, so that none of his original ideas would end up on the cutting room floor. And in the end, it paid off and the series received 9 episodes ranging from 32 minutes to 63 minutes long to tell the whole story. Number 4. Season 2 is in the works. Dong Hyuk had stated that despite the show's incredible global popularity, he had no plans on making another season as he has several other projects in the works. However, he didn't rule out the possibility of a second season someday, and if it did happen, he intended to hire a team of directors and writers to lend him a hand. He stated, "I don't have well-developed plans for Squid Game 2. It is quite tiring just thinking about it. But if I were to do it, I would certainly not do it alone. I'd consider using a writer's room and would want multiple experienced directors." Number 5. No actors were CGI in the first game. The 456 contestants seen in the first game were actually portrayed by 456 actors. While most shows would have simply CGI people to give the appearance of several characters, the director wanted to keep everything as realistic as possible, so he opted for using real actors and sets as much as possible so that the audience would get a real performance. He even made sure that the tense moments throughout each episode were as close to realistic as possible. Number 6. The green uniforms made everything dusty. Throughout the series, the contestants were seen wearing green uniforms. This created an issue because the material in the uniforms came from old gym clothes. As a result, everything on the set became quite dusty with over 400 actors. In fact, some of the people on set suffered allergic reactions and saw their faces turn red. Others had a tough time breathing. The director later admitted that the uniform's material was poor quality, but everyone pushed through their breathing difficulties. Number 7. The uniforms symbolized conformity. On the show, the soldiers wear hot pink jumpsuits while the contestants wear green gym clothes. Director Dong Hyuk wanted the contestants to wear green gym clothes because it took him back to when he was in high school in South Korea, because students wore similar uniforms in gym class. But he chose hot pink because he felt that it would show audiences the contrast between the soldiers and the players. Number 8. The Dalgona Candy Challenge was inspired by the director's youth. The technique that involved licking the toffee in the Dalgona Candy Challenge was inspired by director Dong Hyuk's childhood experience of licking the candy to remove the shape. He claimed he won several grand prizes by applying this method, and he also tried it out the night before the actors shot the scene to make sure it was possible for them to do it. They also had a professional candy maker make the honeycomb toffee with the designs that were seen in the Dalgona Candy Challenge. Number 9. The dorm was designed like a warehouse. The dorm room was designed to resemble a warehouse and came complete with bunk beds on the walls that looked like the shelves in a warehouse. But audiences noticed that as more contestants lost their lives in the challenges, the number of beds in the dorm also decreased when the workers cleared them out. This also made the paintings on the walls that offered the clues of the upcoming challenges more visible to the players. Oddly enough, the players weren't very observant. Number 10. It was the first Korean drama to rank number 1. Squid Game became the first Korean series to rank number 1 in Netflix's most watched shows in the United States. The series is also on the top list in many other countries around the world, and it even managed to beat the very popular British drama, Sex Education. The show has continued to lead as number 1 in 21 countries and number 2 in 50 countries. And it ranks as number 2 on the global chart. Number 11. 111 million Netflix users watched in the first 28 days. 111 million Netflix viewers watched Squid Game during the first 28 days after its premiere. This made it the biggest launch the streaming service had so far. It even beat out Shonda Rhimes' popular Netflix series, Bridgerton, which was seen by 72 million viewers in the first 28 days. But there was a slight consequence from the popularity. It turns out that the local broadband provider filed a lawsuit against Netflix because the show's success caused a huge increase in traffic in South Korea. Number 12. The playground set was designed to look like an actual playground. The playground set was enormous so that the contestants would feel like kids in a playground. The show's director as well as the producers wanted the actors to become familiar with the set before they started filming. But because the sets were all made from scratch, they were also extremely expensive. In fact, it cost approximately $12.3 million to make the series, and that cost was astronomical primarily because all the sets were very expensive to make. Number 13. The show is based on a childhood game. Director Dong-hyuk revealed that Squid Game is based on a game he played as a child. In fact, kids would play it on the streets or in the schoolyard. This is a story about people who used to play this game as children and returned to play it as adults, he explained. It was one of the most physical, and it was also one of my favorite games. I felt that this game could be the most symbolic children's game that could represent the kind of society we live in today, he added. Number 14. The final game was the Squid Game. The final game was appropriately titled The Squid Game, which was essentially a duel to the death between Ji-hyun and Sang-woo. The goal was to get to the center of the field before trying to get to the home square drawn on the opposite end of the field. To make it even more challenging and deadlier, the final 2 contestants were given a blade which they could use to fight one another. Although both men were formidable fighters, only one walked away the winner. The other lost his life, but not by his opponent's hands. Number 15. The creator was accused of plagiarism. Fans of the show have noticed certain similarities between Squid Game and Japanese productions like Liar Game and As the Gods Will. In fact, the scene with the doll in Squid Game is quite similar to a scene from As the Gods Will. But As the Gods Will was released in 2014, 5 years after the director Dong-hyuk reportedly finished his script. Other viewers claim that some of the challenges and the overall concept of the show is somewhat similar to the Saw film franchise. Number 16. The director hired unknown actors for some roles. Lee Jung-jae and Park Ha-seo were always on top of director Dong-hyuk's list to play the characters Ji-hyun and Sang-woo. In fact, they were on his mind from the very beginning. However, for characters like Sae Byuk, Illinois Nam, and Ali, the director went looking for actors who were less known, which is why he was sifting through audition tape after audition tape to find the right performer for these roles. And it's how he found Jung Ho-yeon. Number 17. Real tempered glass was used in the Glass Stepping Stones game. In the Glass Stepping Stones game, which was the second to last game in the series, the contestants were forced to step onto tempered glass panels on a narrow bridge. The challenge was to step on the glass that wouldn't break. Many players fell to their doom, and audiences were on edge the entire time, but they weren't the only ones. Number 18. The show was filmed in one city. Some shows require shooting in more than one city, but Squid Game was filmed in the city of Daejeon near Seoul in South Korea. Daejeon is the 5th largest city in the country and is considered a nexus of art and culture, and comes complete with a booming entertainment industry. Several popular films and TV shows have been filmed in this city, including Train to Busan and The Eighth Night. Number 19. Ji-young was originally a boy, but Hwang changed the character to be a girl. His intent was to explore the bond between two women, something that is apparent when she and Sae Byok immediately connect. Number 20. The giant doll from Red Light, Green Light is based on iconic character illustrations from children's textbooks in the 70s and 80s. Number 21. For the Dalgona challenge, the crew brought in an expert to make real Dalgona for 3 days while filming took place, meaning the set smelled like sugar.
We hope you enjoyed learning some fascinating movie facts with us today. If you want to keep up with our latest content and never miss out on any behind-the-scenes trivia, be sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications. We'll see you in the next video with even more amazing movie facts.